Hey guys, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to Chelsea versus Leeds match preview. This is a very interesting match, to be honest. Obviously with the two clubs and the rich rivalry that they have for many years. I remember before Leeds was relegated, a couple of Leeds players, they were Australian players, Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell. And since then, I could see that the matches between Leeds versus Chelsea were always very, high-tempered, and very much you could see the rivalry in the match. And now Leeds are back into the Premier League, but a new, different style of rivalry has sort of materialised, and it's been well documented, and it's all over social media. It's between Frank Lampard and Marcelo Bielsa. We all know what happened when both of them were in the Championship, Frank with Derby and Marcelo Bielsa obviously with Leeds. The whole spygate situation that happened with Bielsa spying on Frank Lampard's Derby back then. So, this match, it has a bit of flavour in it. People might look away from it and they might think, if they don't know the context of it, they might think, oh, this should be a standard Chelsea victory, top club up against Leeds who've just been promoted. But if you look at what Leeds have been doing under Bielsa, even in the Championship, they've built a very good team. And I want to talk about this before I talk about Chelsea and what I sort of expect in this particular match and the lineup and the formation. But guys, before I get into all of that, please take this opportunity to smash that like button. Please helps the channel out a lot. So take this time, hit that like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. So guys, Leeds, I've watched a few of their games this season, but I've also watched a few of their games whilst they were in the Championship under Bielsa. And what I can tell about this particular Leeds team under Bielsa is that whatever they do it with purpose. All their attacking movements has purpose. Their defensive style has a purpose. So, every pass they make, you'll see other teams, they just make general passes side to side or whatever the case is. And sometimes you don't know what's going on. Whereas Leeds, they know exactly what they're doing. They're very pacey. They play with a high line. They press high. And when they get the ball from the opposition, they attack quick and try to outnumber the opposition and really try the shock and awe sort of style of play. And they try and swamp the particular opposition box with lots of numbers and then pretty much create chaos in the box. And I've seen, especially this season, some of the Leeds matches, up against Liverpool. I watched the match against Aston Villa when Aston Villa beat Liverpool, I think the week before that. And recently I just watched the match against Everton as well. And there were a few other matches of Leeds. I just like the way they play. So this particular match is a very interesting challenge for Frank Lampard. I really want to see how Frank... we've got a lot of firepower. When you look at it from the paper, you'd think Chelsea should easily win that with all the names that we have. But we should not disregard Leeds, even if they don't have the high quality names in there, but they play as a unit. Players like I think Jack Harrison. Then you've got Bamford, who's an ex-Chelsea youth product. He's playing very well. He's one of the top scorers in the league at the moment. Scored a hat-trick against Aston Villa, which was unbelievable hat-trick. The way they attacked in that match was brilliant. Rodrigo, a few other players. They've got some really good players. So, I'm just weary about the one thing, which is Leeds, whenever they come across top teams, they've done well against Man City. They just narrowly lost against Liverpool. They did very well against Arsenal. They beat Everton last week. The thing I'm weary about Leeds is that they have this quality of outnumbering the opposition when they've got the, when they're on the break. Even when with the ball, and if the opposition is set up nicely, they just have some really intricate passing sequence. So those are the two things that I'm really worried about, that I just hope our team are constantly focused, that on the break, on the transition, I feel like we should have more of the ball. Could be very different. They could have a lot of the ball. But whatever the case is, if we have more of the ball, we should be very focused on when they break, because they break with such pace and they outnumber us that we are in touch with their players. Of course, with their high line that they play, we need to be very, very assured that, we've got that covered in terms of, pressing and whatnot. And we've got some really, really fast players, so we should be fine in that regard. So overall, guys, in terms of Leeds, this is a game that we shouldn't take lightly. Hopefully the players are focused with all the rivalry that they have and the kind of, profiles of teams that Leeds have sort of taken care of this season. We should be very, very concerned. And obviously, Bielsa is an absolute master thinker when it comes to these sort of games. So that's a little bit about Leeds. I hope we've done our homework. Now, in regards to our team, Frank in the press conference has said that there is no injury. We've got a full plethora of squad to select from, so which creates a bit of a headache for Frank Lampard. But the biggest topic at the moment is, will Olivier Giroud start? Off the back of his performance against Sevilla, the social media has been a bit in pandemonium that there could be a chance that he could be dropped in this particular match. A lot of people think that with Leeds' high line, we need pace, so players like Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech would be far more suited as opposed to having Giroud up front and Werner or Pulisic on the left. So this is the big question that it would be so devastating to see someone like Giroud get dropped after putting 4 goals against Sevilla. So, personally, I would say start Giroud and then probably bring in Tammy. Maybe Tammy is a good solution to have, or maybe Werner is a good solution to have against this high line of Leeds. Leeds do leak a lot of goals. That's their issue. They do keep clean sheets as well, which is crazy. There's some matches this season you would have seen that up against Leicester, I believe, Leeds got absolutely destroyed by them, and a few other matches as well where Leeds being destroyed. So, if when it comes against quality teams, they can be a bit suspect in the back. But I personally would start Giroud because I feel like after scoring those 4 goals, how can you drop him? It'd be such an injustice. So my team, let's get into the team. To be honest, Chelsea is ready to go. So there's not much to talk about in regards to that. So let's get straight into the formation and team. My formation, as we all know, 4-3-3 has been working for Chelsea. So we continue with that. In the back line, Mendy, undoubtedly. Right side, Reece James. Yeah, he's had a break in midweek, so he's raring to go. And he's lots of pundits out there have been saying Reece James is the number 1 right back at the moment in the Premier League because of his quality of defending and his ability to attack. He's got that great balance. In the middle, Thiago Silva, Zuma. Everyone has been rotated in that match against Sevilla, so that's perfect for us to have everyone back. So Thiago Silva, Zuma, we need them. We need their experience up against a quality sort of side that Bielsa has at the moment and the technicality that they play with. Chilwell, once again, rested, so he comes back. In the middle, Kante. He's got to run and he's got to destroy everything that Leeds are about to throw at him. In the right side, I'd play with Kai Havertz. He looked very, very good against Sevilla. His passing range was crucial for us. I'd like to have a player like Kai Havertz there. And Mason Mount. We need that engine of Mason Mount in the left centre mid. So Kante, right centre mid, Kai Havertz, left centre mid, Mount. That's a power-packed midfield for us. In the left side, I'd probably go with Timo Werner. Yeah, Pulisic played in midweek almost the entirety of the match, so give him a bit more time to sort of get back into it, ease into it, and let's not get him injured again. Up front, Olivier Giroud. Let's reward him for the 4 goals that he scored, and let's see exactly what he can do up against a high line. I mean, he's an experienced campaigner, so I wouldn't just put it away that just because he doesn't have the pace, he can't handle it. I'm sure he's got some tricks up his sleeve, and I'm sure Frank would probably have some tricks up his sleeve in order to accommodate someone like Giroud. But we still have the pace of Werner, and on the right side, I'd have Ziyech. So this team should be enough to still take care of Leeds. So Mendy, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Zuma, Chilwell, Kante, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Ziyech, Giroud, Timo Werner, and off the bench we can have players like Tammy come on, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kovacic, whoever else that we need. We've got enough firepower in the bench to take care of it. So look, my prediction, I feel like I've got a lot of respect for this Leeds team. As I said, I've watched Leeds play this season many times, and they look like a very solid team, well-drilled team with Marcelo Bielsa. But I feel like we are building something. We are also on the rise. We are also understanding exactly how Frank wants to play. Our pattern of play is becoming very crisp, very notable. The way we took care of Sevilla was unbelievable. It looked like we could have another 2-3 gears that we could go on top. And that was off the back of having the entire team out, and a whole rotational team came in and destroyed Sevilla. So look, lots of games to come this particular December. So many players will get the opportunity, so the competition will be high, and that's only going to make our level better. So my prediction for this particular match, guys, I honestly think we are going to take care of Leeds. We're probably going to get a clean sheet as well. I'm not sure exactly how they could penetrate our back line, especially Mendy being such a wall at the back, and Zuma and Thiago Silva. So my prediction, guys, it will be a 3-0 victory for us, perhaps even a 4-0 victory, with our pace and power up front, and the entire team with such quality that we have, and the bench as well. We should take care of them. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are, what your formation is, what your lineup will be, and what your prediction is. Comment below, and stay in touch with this particular channel. There's quite a lot of live shows that are lined up later today, and of course just before the match I've got a special guest coming up for that as well, just to talk about the lineup. And just before the match we basically run down to the kickoff time. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.